Hi, konnichiwa, konbanwa. Ohio gozaimasu. Yokoso to Freedom Friday, Unbound with Dr. Nakiba, and welcome to my channel. It's been a little while, but I'm back today just to share with you on my topic, which is the art of letting go. Have you ever had letting go? Have you ever had some time where the things that once brought you joy no longer brings you joy, and you're now trying to figure out what can you do? Well, today I'm going to talk to you about my experience with this. So, just recently I've just been going through just different things where I've been just feeling like I'm not really myself. The things that I used to like to do, every time I feel like I'm doing it, I'm not as happy or feel like something is missing, right? Praying, singing, and just doing the things that I've been doing. One of the things that I realized is like something is missing. The things that I used to be happy about, I'm not happy. And I just felt like I've been going through this season or this point in my life where something was different, maybe in me, around me, and I felt like I needed a change. So for me, one of the things that I learned is I really started getting used to what pain felt like. And when I say pain, it was like I started feeling like I've been muted in different ways, right? So like if I feel a certain way, I'm not always saying exactly how I felt, because the way that I felt maybe wasn't received in the way that I meant it or the context that I meant it. And sometimes I just really just got tired of having to explain myself or feeling like I had to say something. Sometimes just wanting to be in the company of people, not necessarily that's bringing you down, but kind of understanding you are able to lift each other up in the midst of it. And just in that context, I learned that, hey, I needed something new and I needed something different for me. So for me, this week, I just want to say, like, sometimes when you find like the things that once brought you joy is no longer bringing you joy, it's a time to sit back and reflect on, hey, what's really going on? Like, what is God really trying to tell me about myself in this season? Why are the things that I was once happy about, I'm no longer happy, or it feels more like a burden and it feels less like something that continues to bring joy to myself and others. And for me, I'm one of those people. I like to help people. I like to do things for other people. I like to be there for other people. But I know a lot of us hear the saying that says you can't pour from an empty cup. And I felt like I've been running on almost E. There's been so many things around me that's been going on, and I really haven't taken the time to really focus on who I am, what do I want, and really what's my purpose. Because I know for me, I feel like the thing that I've been doing is the thing that keeps me happy. But too much of anything is something that can also bring you down if you don't stop to check in with yourself, to check into what you really need, and to make sure you're taking care of yourself. So for me, got to this realization, like the things that once brought me joy are no longer bringing me joy. And what am I to do in these moments? So for me, one of the things that I was not doing initially was paying attention to what God's voice was telling me. And what I really know, he came to me not loudly, but just in different ways. And it was showing up like on my work, just personally. And it was just kind of giving me a hint that something was going on and that I needed to take some time to focus on the things that are really important to me. Because when I get to focus on the things that's important to me, I really feel like I get to live in the calling and the purpose that he has for me, as opposed to doing what everybody else expects and wants of me. And that really was a time that I really was like questioning what was really for real and what really wasn't real, right? And so one of the things I learned, that I had to let go of some of the things that was bringing me joy, because they were no longer bringing me joy. And I came to a realization, because the things that once brought me joy was now hurting me, right? I felt sad. I felt lonely in some places. And just sometimes I just felt like everything just felt like heavy and felt like a burden. And so some of the times when we're holding on to things that brought us joy before that's now bringing us pain, we find that we don't even know when the pain began and when the joy stopped, because we allow ourselves to hold on to that pain for so long that we kind of ignore it, and it becomes a part of who we are, and we feel kind of muted, right? And so when you allow the pain within you to be muted, that also gives you an opportunity to start feeling comfortable with that pain. And when you start feeling comfortable with pain that's there, it becomes dull, it becomes muted, and it just becomes a natural part of your life. And for me, when you really think about it, who really wants to get comfortable with pain? Pain is something that's not meant to stay there, and not for you to feel forever. It's like a warning sign of something that is happening that you might need to pay attention to and might need to start changing. So we got to learn that the pain of releasing things is going to be something that we need to start letting go of, and know that the pain of holding on is much harder and is much stronger. So like, you might think that like, hey, if I hold on to this because I'm used to this pain, I'll get over it, but you really won't. Do you really want to get comfortable with the pain? When you start holding on to something and you get the pain from holding on, that pain is never going to leave you. It's always going to stay there. When you release it, you'll feel some pain for a little bit, but it's only temporary, because we're detaching ourselves from something that's not in a place where you need to be. And, you know, when we've been comfortable with something for so long, you kind of brace yourself for impact, because you no longer want to feel the impact. And so when you start releasing and letting go, that impact is going to be felt, and it's going to be painful initially, but then you start getting to the part where you can actually start healing, right? And sometimes the things that we've done, when you learn how to start truly surrendering, it's not about surrendering is really about not truly giving up something, but releasing something and allowing yourself to be open to the possibilities of something new. And when you have yourself open for the possibilities of something new, you also are allowed to have more freedom to look at something new, freedom to try something different. So like for me, there's been just so many different things, and I recognize that I'm still holding on to some of the things of the past. But as I recognize those things of the past that I've been holding on to are not joyous for me, and that I've been more concerned about, like, hey, at least I know what this felt like. What's the new part? And the new part is going to feel painful, possibly because it's unfamiliar. But instead of making that in the context of pain, I really understand that it's really not pain that I'm going into, but it's the unknown. And I think that's what a lot of us are facing. It's like, hey, I know what this felt like, and it was familiar to me. So if I go into something new, what is that going to look like, and how I'm going to handle it? And what I will tell you is, it's okay. Those feelings are valid, but it's better to walk through those feelings, acknowledge that they exist, and walk through those feelings, than to stay comfortable with something that's no longer going to bring you joy. One of the experiences that I've had a few years ago was when I left one of the jobs that I was working at, and I went back to another job that I used to work at, and I got to work with my sister. And I thought it was going to be great working with my sister. And what I will tell you, it was not the same. It was like immediately when I got there, the whole tides were changed. Like the energy and everything around me was different. And what I thought was going to be like, hey, this is going to be until retirement, I got that sense that it wasn't permanent, and it was just a temporary situation for me. And when I realized that, I did everything I could to kind of hold on to it. Initially, I immediately tried to leave, but then I recognized, like, hey, I'm here for a purpose. And when I'm here for a purpose, when that purpose is up, God will allow me to be able to leave freely and to be clear with it. So as much as I wanted to work with my sister, it just wasn't the same, right? It used to bring me joy before, seeing her. And then when I came back to work there, the joy was not there. And I learned, like, the joy wasn't there because I wasn't meant to stay. And I wasn't allowed to be comfortable in that place because I wasn't allowed to stay in a place that was going to continuously harm me in the long run. And so that's what I want to say. Like, the the joy of the things that once used to bring you joy, when you find that they're no longer bringing you joy, it's time for you to start reflecting on, hey, well, if it's not bringing me joy, then it's something that I need to focus on and reflect to see what's going on with me. And if it's time to move on to something different, if it's time for me to elevate. And once you start really putting some work in and some effort into thinking about what that is, I feel like you'll get an opportunity to work more in your purpose, to find the things that continue to elevate you. So with that said, hopefully you are able to resonate with something I said today. And one of the things that I want to ask you, what is something that you've been holding on for so long that's bringing you pain, or that you used to have joy, and now you find that you're no longer getting joy from this, and you're in your comfort zone, and now you're realizing that, hey, this is that something, whether it's a relationship, whether it's just something just in general. And how can you start working on releasing it and letting it go so you can free yourself up, so you can actually go on to something new and continue to elevate. So with that said, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I have more videos on my channel that just continue to give you just advice and just the things that I'm dealing with in my life. And hopefully as I elevate, you continue to elevate. So thank you for joining, and I'll see you soon. Bye.